You're in, Boxed Off Pod episode, 24? Nearly, what's that, like a quarter of a year now?
It's been a long time, mate. I don't even know what episode we're on, mate, to be fair.
24.
Nah,
24.
that's lit.
Yeah, 24.
I saw that post you did about like most podcasts don't make it past 21 episodes or something.
Yeah. Mate, there's some of them things like the one that he showed me was it the Joe Rogan one? He did like 1,000 episodes before he even got like anything from it or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's mad. It actually is
Realised,
mad.
innit? Like,
Yeah.
actually, it's mad. It's mad.
They do it for years, do you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying, it's sick, innit? But anyways, we're here. For the listeners that can't see the visuals right now, we've got a guest on, the first one in a little while. Mabs, how are you, bro?
I'm good, bro.
Same, brother.
Come on.
Yeah. So like a little bit of context, Mabs. We've known Mabs for a time, like since college days. To be fair, we live on like other sides of town, so we haven't really like uni's been there as well, and all those things. We're not seeing each other in time, but I wanted to get you on today. Well, we wanted to get you on today to talk about like your music ventures, what you're doing there, because like that's what I'm saying. You've had quite a bit of success recently with your tunes. But let's not get it messed up, mate, or let's not get it twisted. You've been doing music for time, really, bro. Like time.
Ages.
Time.
Thanks for having me still. Thanks for having me. I've been doing music for time. You know this because like we were just talking about it. I used to play you like some of my first songs ever. I used to play in class.
Yeah.
Yeah, and back then it was just like mess about and it was just like, just listen to this, innit? And like years later, this is something that I do like, I would say professionally now, innit?
Yeah.
So it's quite good.
I always see you on Instagram and stuff, and like you can see like how you're getting a following now as well, like even your music videos and stuff like that. Like you can see the hard work's going in. So big up yourself, man. Only onwards and upwards from here,
appreciate
innit? I
that,
guess
bro.
only onwards upwards from
Yeah,
here.
bro.
When so when did you start really taking it serious then?
I would say definitely in college. That's when I started. Because when I came to college, I was recording music with my friends and just for fun. That's when I was showing you like and George and stuff like that, innit? But I think around that time it's like everybody's thinking about what they're gonna do with their future, you know. Especially if you chose to go college, because there was some people back where I'm from in Manchester where like college was just not a thing for them. They just wanted to go straight to work or whatever. And then so it's like around the time where like we're surrounded by people who are just like, I want to go into law, I want to go into this, I want to go into that, innit? And I was thinking to myself like, what do I want to do? And at the time, I was definitely really into like film production and stuff like that. I remember sociology. Do you remember sociology when everyone was going around saying what they wanted to do?
I didn't do sociology, mate.
Oh, mad. Oh, I was with George and that, and then like we went round in a circle, like telling everyone what you wanted to do in it, and then everyone's like talking about nurse, doctor, teacher, this and that. It gets to me, and I was like, I want to be a film producer. And everyone's like laughing, innit? Everyone's like laughing, innit? I'm like, why not? So around that time, I started realizing that if I really want to do what I want to do, I can't like wait until other people like rate it and be like, that's a good career choice. So that's around the time I decided to just be serious about anything I love. So even filmmaking, music, I was just like, I'm definitely going to do this. And it's working out so far. So glad I made that decision.
Yeah, that's sick, man. I think like some people like get it like a bit messed up sometimes, where it's like for example, when you look at like some rappers now, like for example, like maybe you could say like RD for example, right? This guy like sort of it's appeared like he just blew up out of nowhere, and a lot of people say H did that, but he didn't. He didn't. But some people, like for the people that aren't educated on that, some people think that people just blow up overnight, and if you don't do it quickly to that level that they're at, then people don't really rate it like that. But let's be honest, like for 99% of people, whether it's working in music, whether it's fucking having a podcast, whether it's working in film or whatnot, it's a mad slow burner, you know. So it's like, how have you managed to sort of like keep the focus and sort of keep yourself dedicated to working towards this end goal?
There's many things, but I would say the main thing is just enjoying what you do. Because like when you mentioned the Joe Rogan thing, like to do 1,000 episodes with no payment, no nothing, you have to enjoy that. You have to, otherwise that would have been 1,000 episodes of pain or like just torture. So like I think whatever it is, you have to enjoy it first, and then like it doesn't matter how long it takes, because the you having fun and you getting fulfillment is like the payment. Do you get what I'm saying?
Reward,
Yeah. So like a lot of the times you see these people who've popped up out of nowhere, but because they've been doing it for a long time, like them blowing is just like the icing on the cake. Now everybody gets to enjoy what they enjoy all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, like if you put the grind in, like I said, if you're enjoying it, then sometimes it won't even feel like work. And like you said there, like RD blowing up our age or something, people don't see the groundwork in it. They only see you when you're at the top or when you're in the limelight.
I was seeing RD like a few months before he blew. I was seeing him drop like freestyles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Was it called 6 a.m. in Brighton?
Yeah, where it was that little like bandstand thing.
exactly.
Not even those, like car freestyles where it's
just
driving and
shit. I think I might have seen one of them on Insta or something, but like I didn't even know who he was then. Do you know what I mean?
There was a lot of, like some pages reposted it and there was some hate on it, but at the same time he was still doing his thing before people knew about him.
Yeah, of course. He got some hate early on, innit? Like saying, it's like a Southern H and that, innit? Because he looks the same white guy, like.
They couldn't sound any more different than two. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They couldn't sound any more different.
It's so different. And like you see how like people are kind of like sheep, because even before like he did the body track, there was still a lot of hate on him.
Yeah.
But then because that the remix popped off so much, everyone was just like, yeah, you know what? Artie's pretty hard. It's like, he's been the same before and after.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, innit? Like I said, when you're in the limelight, when people are, you're getting that attention, and other people look at you and think, oh yeah, maybe he is hard, maybe I should be listening, and that might be a way for some people to actually discover him and like him. But like I say, it's just sheep, man. You can either be one of them who spots him early and then see him from day, or even if they get big and you jump on it, still.
That's the thing, though. What I feel like is with music, like especially like in like the online world now, everything's so like numbers orientated. Like, look, I'll be real, and I'll like listen. I think RD's a talented lad. I think he's a talented rapper. I think he's good at what he does. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not listening to it. And I'm not ashamed to admit that he's not my cup of tea. Whereas I feel like people might have. No, it's bare different rappers. They're bare different musicians. I'm using him as an example. But like, I feel like bare people might not have liked him before he blew. If you showed him, I don't like him, but now he's popping off and getting 10 million views on the body track. Do you know what I mean? And people think, you know what? Should I like him because he's got this many things? Do you know what I mean?
Most people would just look at it as like, I should, like, I should pay attention to him. 10 million views? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird like that, but that's something I clocked about the music game a long time ago, where it's like nowadays people don't really care about the quality of the music. And I'm not talking about RD because he's hard still, but like people don't care about the quality of the music. It's more like the image and perception. So like if you look like you're popping, a lot of people would think you are, and then they'll hop on the wave and be like, let me check it out, let me download this song.
I can see that, 100%. I can see even not in like music though, in other things in life. Like if it looks good or you know something else is popping like that, then you know you get eyes looking at you. Other people might be thinking, get on that as well. So it's like that in anything, but music game especially, I can imagine it's just as much.
Especially when you involve labels, because like labels will like take somebody who's got no notoriety, and then all of a sudden they've got like Rolling Stone covers and GQ, and then now you're like, maybe I should look at this person differently. You know what I mean?
It's mad, man. It is mad. That's a music game, though, isn't it? As you would know a lot more than us. 100%.
Yeah, one thing I did want to speak to you about, Babs, is that like, as we say, you've done music for time. You've done time for time, sorry. And listen, I'll be completely transparent with you and honest with you. I feel like, listen, I've always rated your thing. I've always rated your music, and when you've shown me it, I've gone, you know what, that's hard, like sick. Do you know what I mean? But it's like I feel like at one point something really just clicked for you. In terms of like the whole brand, the whole image, the whole like even things down to your music videos and the quality of music. One day I feel like something just snapped. Do you know what I mean? And something just clicked into place for you. I think there's like I think it was obviously Manchester's like the standout one because that rung off, didn't it? To be fair, let's be honest. It's like off the back of that one, I could be wrong. There could have been a release before that as well, but like it seemed like something just happened for you. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I fully get what you're saying, because for a long time I was trying to get people. I think it's a mixture of many things in it, because I've been making music for a long time, and when I first started, my strategy was everybody who I know has to know that I make music. Otherwise, like, why am I trying to get listens or whatever, you know? So like, I made sure, like, you know this, like, I would like sending people freestyles and Instagram, Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. Send my whole contact list, but like people weren't paying that much attention. And then slowly I started realizing that in order, like just because you're my friend doesn't mean you are into my music. You get what I'm saying? So I can't really be forcing you to like check it out just because we're friends. I have to go find the people who actually like that music. So when I started doing that, I think that's when it started working for me a bit more, because I wasn't caring as much as like if anybody I knew from high school or college or uni shared my stuff. I was more caring like to find people who are actually gonna check it out as soon as I drop. So when I started doing that, then I feel like that's when I started like just seeing a bit more success in my music, because I wasn't spending my time trying to get people who didn't want to listen. I was just trying to find the new people in it. And then also on the other hand, the quality of my music was getting better too. Like just doing anything for so long, practice makes perfect, you know. And like I was learning like just how to flow better, how to write better, how to make things make sense. And I feel like with MAB Shcola, it's like one of the best examples of like how I've leveled up, because I still listen to that song start to finish and I'm like, whoa, like it just flows into the next and you can follow it. Whereas sometimes like with music, there'll be a verse that's really good, but the level doesn't stay the same, you know. You might just like that part of the song, not the other part. Whereas for a lot of people who like MAB Shcola, I think it's literally from start to finish that they like, you know. But yeah, there was definitely a time where like it just clicked, and it was like just my mentality, me getting better at music, and it was just like that's when I dropped Bella. We did that ish with Maxi Z, and it was just like I think the weird thing about it is like I manifested that. I don't know if you guys are into manifestation.
I mean,
but yeah, so like even like with music that I made before, like if you listen to Talk of the Town, like I was saying stuff like I can see the views growing every week. At that time, bro, I was struggling to get 1K on YouTube, but I still put it out there that like, yo, like I like doing this. This is cold. Every time I drop, it's like a treat, whatever, you know. And then over time, just you putting in the groundwork, because like people misconstrue what manifestation is. They think just you wishing for it is gonna happen. Like it's also you putting in the work in order to make it happen, you know. And then so over time, that's what happened. And like me just going to the studio all the time, me connecting, working with other artists, it just came together. And I feel like even though that's big from where we're coming from, just witnessing that, I know I can achieve even greater than that, you know, just by focusing and making sure I'm aware of what the goal is.
Like you say there, even like manifesting it, no matter just where you start your career, like you only getting small views, but like you just said then, manifesting, and we had an episode on it, but it's not just thinking it's going to happen. If you just think, I'm going to be a big rapper, so it's going to happen. It's not the case. Anything. Do you know what I mean? You need to put the work in as well.
That's what I'm saying. I could sit in this seat now every single day, right? Not film a podcast. Like, don't film. Turn the cameras off, Turn the mics off. Don't bother doing it, But if me and him sit here in silence, with nothing recording, and go, you know what, bro? We're gonna pop, you know. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine sitting there thinking, I'm gonna be a fast runner, me, do 100 meters, but you're not even up training. Do you know what I mean? You're not even putting the work in, and it goes back to like the opening statement. People don't see that. You know what I mean? They don't see the hustle. They don't see when you're low and you're thinking, fucking hell, I'm not popping here now, but I'm still gonna do it for my enjoyment.
And something I learned recently as well is like, you know, like when you read or watch things about manifestation, they always tell you like visualize you actually winning or being on stage and stuff like that. What I learned recently is like, obviously, you should visualize your wins and your goals, but also you should visualize you working towards them, like what you need to do in order to reach those goals. So if you're like a performer, or like you're into acting, not only do you want to like visualize like winning awards and being in like award-winning shows, you want to visualize yourself like putting in the work, like reading scripts and going to castings and doing so many different things that it will be easier for you to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick, bro. But like when you mentioned then about Manchester, yeah, and I don't just want to talk about Manchester, yeah, even though it is like a big.
Feel free, bro.
It's
I love that song. I love that song.
But like no, I'll be real, yeah, like that tune, like you actually like said some stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like when you say before, like anyone can write a rhyme and like, you know, make it flow and make it, you know, and you say sometimes the standard might not stay at the same level. But like one thing that like I spoke about time ago when I was at uni, like our editor Webbs, yeah, we used to fuck about at uni, yeah, just write rhymes and stuff and just have a mess about, yeah. And like we used to say, like, well, he used to say like, oh yeah, like if you write something like, yeah, you can write a rhyme, but like, what does it actually say? Do you know what I mean? Like, what context has it actually got to? Has it got like, do you know what I mean, behind it? And would you say that like that's one thing off the back of that tune? Because it's, correct me if I'm wrong, that was like your most layered and complex tune that you've written.
Yeah.
What have you learned off the back of the success of that to take into your new music going forward?
From that, I actually learned like don't be afraid to express yourself like how you truly feel, because like everybody who makes music is expressing themselves. Anyone who makes art, like it's a form of like getting what you're thinking out into the world, innit? But a lot of the times with music, people feel like they have to dumb themselves down and not actually say what they're thinking, because either it's not been done before or it's not what's popular right now, you know. And before I released Manchester, I was shook, bro, because I was talking about like struggling and being poor and all of this stuff, and I was just like, just people knowing that about me, I wasn't really ready for that, you know. Like, so there was like a 2 months time where like I was meant to drop and I didn't drop, and I was meant to drop. Even though I loved the song, I knew it was gonna be one of the best songs I ever dropped, but I was shook just because of like public perception and all of that stuff. But then me releasing it and seeing like the actual feedback that came, like I get messages for that song from like across the world, in it, because of what Spotify's done in it. It's like people from like Luxembourg messaging me, people from South Africa, and they're like telling me like how much that song means to them and how it's helped them and all of that, innit? And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I didn't release it just because of how I felt and the fear I had, then those people who like that they make that their number one song now, it wouldn't be able to impact them. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely. Like that must be a big thing to come over as well, and I reckon that's a big thing in a lot of people's careers, isn't it? Like some people could be like they'd be too bothered about that perception.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you can get over that, and then just like you done there, look, you got people in South Africa messaging you.
Exactly. Like Manchester helped me do that a lot, because even afterwards, like with Hypebeast, like I was a lot more confident with addressing it. You know, like the hook goes, Hypebeast too poor for the hype, but for a better life, I'm a beast on the mic. And it's like even with Hypebeast, there is people that are like messaging me like, yo, this is my favorite tune. Like, yeah, I love it. No. But without me releasing Manchester, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because if I couldn't release Manchester, why would I release Hypebeast? You know what I mean?
Stepping stones, man, innit?
Butterfly
Stepping
effect,
stones.
bro.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
100%. Yeah. But so like but when I taking it back to before, when I said like it seemed like one day that everything just sort of clicked into place for you. Yeah. One thing as well that I noticed was like the quality. To be fair, the video that you did for Talk of the Town, that was sick. Yeah, to be fair, but I feel like that was like the first like sick video that you did. You know what I mean? And then like you moved on to like the Manchester one was sick, simple but sick. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously forgive me, bro. What's that one called where you're outside the shop, the yellow shop, and you're in the car and you're hanging out the window?
Oh, back in the scene.
That one as well. Like that video is sick.
Yeah.
So like, what strategy did you put in place to sort of like make your not only the music but the whole package as an artist? Like, what strategy did you put into that,
bro? You know, like I was telling you, like I'm doing digital marketing right now, innit? Yeah. And if I wasn't trying to like put my music out there and get people to actually connect with it, I would have never been onto this digital marketing stuff. And like basically, like I was learning bit by bit that it's not just about the music. It's about how you package it. It's about the image. It's about, like we was talking before, perception. Do you get me? So I could just drop an audio, and it could be a great song, but there's less chance that people are gonna see it. So we like having like a film background and stuff like that. I realized like the visuals have to be eye catching. They have to be either like connotating what's happening in the song, or they have to be just something where like you're not seeing this before, or like people around, like, because whenever I make music, I feel like my music is gets better because I compare myself to like whoever's at the top. You get me? Like the fact when I wrote MAB Shcola, it was after Dave dropped Hangman.
Oh, right, okay.
I loved that song. And then I was like, I want to write something either that's just as powerful or even better. Do you get what I'm saying? So whenever I'm writing music, I'm competing with the AJ Tracy's, the Skeptas, whatever. When I'm making videos, I'm doing the same. Do you get me? I'm trying to market myself the way that they would. So whenever there's a new song, I want to find a way to like capture the actual like what I'm trying to portray in the music. And so like there's been like, because I've got a lot of songs that are still unreleased. One of the main reasons personally that I haven't released them is because I can't get the visual idea. To get me, because I've got the Summertime song that I've had for like, I'll say like 3 years, and whenever it drops, this is gonna be like one of them like poppy summertime tunes in it. But one of the main reasons I've not released it is because I've not had the resources to get the visuals that I really want. And the song's called Summertime Baby, but I was gonna have me, or I will have me as a baby, but like it's like a little baby with my head on it. Do you get me? Yeah. So it's kind of like whenever I'm making the visuals, I want it to be like as eye-catching as possible, or even like just make sure it's different and like not like everybody else. Hence why like even on back on the scene, I was like, all right, what we got this big truck. I'm gonna hop out the window and like, because I've not seen anybody in Manchester do that.
Right. That. So like even your unreleased tracks now, have you got a vision in your head for each one where you're thinking, right, I know what I'm gonna do for this one now, and I've got a way and I think I'm gonna do it. But like I said, fair play to you, innit? Because I can think of a lot of artists who will just push content out. Do you know what I mean? And we spoke to people before on the podcast about it, and like this pushing content in people's faces a lot. But then there's also like, you know, being sincere with it and but proper planning it out. Like you just said then, if you have the visuals in your head for each one that you want to do, you're not just going to drop it at any time. Because it needs to be A1, because like you said, the full package, innit?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It needs to be A1. It's very complicated nowadays being like an independent artist, because it's very easy to be an independent artist. But if you're wanting to like compete with like the people who are high up, the people who have label backing, there's more that goes into it than just making the music. You know, you're gonna have to like pay for the visuals. You're gonna have to get your resources right in order to market it, get it in front of the right people and stuff like that, innit? So there's a lot that goes into it. And for me, I'm more like I want to be a quality over quantity person. Even though like I do understand in the age we live in, like content is king. The more you can push out, the better. This is why like podcasts are doing a lot better nowadays, because people want new content constantly. You get me? But I still feel like whether or not I'm pushing out a lot of content, I want the quality to always be there. So if it takes me a bit longer, I don't mind, you know, because then I put out something that I'm really happy with instead of just something for the sake of it.
Definitely. No, that's it. The thing is though, it's the same though. Like music is like, it's all sales, bro. And when I say sales, I don't mean people, because no one really buys music nowadays, and that's not what I'm trying to say. It's like the way that, like, I don't know, Coca-Cola, yeah, like Coca-Cola's really really nice, yeah. Everyone likes Coke, yeah. Like everyone likes drinking it, it's nice, but if you just had a nice liquid there, yeah, but it had a shit can, and the can looked dead. You're not really gonna look at it the same way. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just the way that you package everything. Like
Cans about, isn't
there is bare dead cans.
I don't think about like dandelion and burdock can. I don't even like dandelion and burdock.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. But like what I'm trying to say is, yeah, like my point is, it's that like it's more than just about the taste of the coke. It's more about than just the music. Do you know what I mean? It's the way that the whole thing,
it's the package
comes together.
For real,
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of like underground artists like miss the boat, because they're too focused on just the music that by the time they make a good song, they're just putting it out with like an audio link, or like like you see like people do previews and it's just got the little iPhone and it's like that could be an amazing song, but we're all visual creatures, innit? Like if we could see something that represents that song in movement, like they're more likely to be like, oh, let me save this. But really, you're just dropping a picture of the audio, and it's not gonna work.
It's not as engaging, innit? That's what it is. Like you said, it's the world we live in now. There's screens everywhere, man. You need to utilise it, no matter what it is, no matter what profession, man. You just need to get on that wave.
Yeah.
Therefore,
I mean, as well, we were talking about the scene in Manchester loosely when I picked you up, and like I do want to dig into that a bit more in terms of like there's always been a scene in Manchester for rap, and for grime and for all that, because like even like think about like the old Whiskey Road ciphers that was in Manchester and stuff like that. Like there has been them for time, but now it seems like now more than ever, the city's sort of like got its own identity. I feel like now Manchester is what Birmingham was. Do you know what I mean? Like it always used to be London and Birmingham sort of thing, but now I think Manchester's overtaken, in my opinion anyway.
Manchester music for me is booming, man. We talk about it so often. There's so many artists that are out there now that are so good that maybe a few years ago, maybe when we weren't as big in the scene or even knowing it as much, like there's so many good music.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I started making music, I'm sure I thought I was one of the the only Manchester artists. Because when I started making music, I didn't do it because I saw anybody in Manchester doing it. I did it because I was into American hip hop and grime and stuff like that. And I was looking at Skepta, JME and that. But the more I've like networked and like just like found new people who make music in Manchester, the more I'm learning like the scene's dates back like 10, 20, 30 years. And then so like there's a lot of artists, underrated Manchester artists that a lot of old heads would like know and respect, but like the new scene won't even know about right now, innit? And it's kind of like a bittersweet, because you can see like the progression and how like Manchester's doing great, but you're also seeing like people forgetting like who was there 10 years ago and stuff like that, people that were there before I was, so it's one of them where like I know me personally, when I blow like proper go clear, I'm gonna do my best to like help or put on those people who were there beforehand, because it's kind of like that's what happens all the time, innit? The young eat the old, but it's just without them.
You respect that, innit? That generation, like, innit?
Exactly. You're seeing the scene right now. There's shows going on constantly. There's like the MIF festival, but without those people that were there like 10, 15 years ago, like we would have to start from scratch.
There'd be no scene for you.
Do you get what I'm saying? Exactly. But Manchester's doing great right now, and which has got me excited, because I want to see where it will be 5-6 years from now.
Hopefully you'll be a part of that as well, deep in that scene as well. Do you know what I mean? Putting on for everyone else. That's the goal, man, innit? I guess.
Definitely.
That's the thing, though, man. I know that a lot of people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to say, Boxed Off is the biggest podcast in Manchester. I would love to say that, it would be sick. But realistically, it's a nice goal, and a lot of people say, I'm the king of this city. Like, for example, like Bugsy Malone, he's lived off like the brand of like I'm the king of the North. What's cooler, being the king of the North, or being the king of the UK, or being the king of Europe, or being the king of the world? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people like they're not limiting themselves, because like obviously everyone wants to get to that next stage, but like when people say like, I'm gonna take this city, why do you just want to take the city? Why don't you want to take everywhere else?
Maybe people just putting on for themselves, innit? You know what I mean? So like, I'm from Manny, I want to be the best in Manny, and if you're the best in Manny, then surely you're going to be in pole position to be potentially one of the best in the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like that's what, for example, like Meeks, who's like,
mad.
He probably is the best in
Meeks
bro.
My favorite,
bro, I was chatting to Meeks like a month or 2 months before he dropped his first track. I think it was the Hood's Hottest.
R.I.P. Showcase Cinema. Rest in peace.
for real.
Gone but never
Trust
forgotten.
me.
Gone but never forgotten.
I DM'd him on Insta, mate. I DM'd him like, yeah, they've put it down, they've knocked down Showcase, and he just ignored it, yeah, and he put it on his story, bare crying faces. Swear down.
Nah, for real. But I was chatting to him like a month or two before he dropped his track, and it was like an open show, and he's telling me and some of my boys in it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking of hopping onto this music thing, innit? Because we were shooting a video at that time, innit? He's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking of hopping onto this music thing, innit?" And like, I think he's actually the first person that showed me like, I think it was OFB. He showed me an old OFB video and was like, "Yeah, I've been chilling with these man," but at that time I wasn't that into drill. So I was just like, yeah, it's just some random London artist, innit? Bro, and I've watched Meek since then, bro. He's leveled up differently, innit? And it's actually like, I don't know, like, it's surprising to see, but it's like a good surprise. You know what I'm saying? Because you can see what can happen in such a short amount of time. Like, within the first 2-3 releases, he was one off, if not the biggest artist in Manchester. Do you get me? Yeah.
I don't know what I bang on about Meek's me, but like when he drops something new, I'm first on it, man. Gives me goosebumps, you know what I mean? Like fully does. He puts on for the scene different as well.
And the visuals too.
Yeah,
like
the
he goes mad with them.
But that's my point. That's what I was trying to get at. Is like, yeah. So he is the best in Manchester in our opinion. Yeah. Like, obviously H is the biggest, but like I'm talking about like who's the best. Like in our, it's all opinion based. Yeah, but like we believe that he's the best in the city.
Even like Tunde, bro, free Tunde.
Yeah.
Screaming from the rooftops.
But like Meeks, who's the best in the UK right now? What is he worse than Heady One? No. Is he worse than Fredo? No. Like, you know what I mean? Like these people that are like serious levels coming from London, he's just as good, if not better. Do you know what I mean? And then like it's tough to compare him to like Dave or whatnot because they're different kind of rappers. But
even like Fredo, man, like obviously I love Meeks in it, but like just two you just said then, like Fredo and Emuncho, like they've got the and Heady, they've got the fucking work rate, man. They're like you don't see as much from Meeks in it. Like they're like Fredo just dropped a new project.
Dropped 2 in like 6 months.
In it, not even long, man. Heady One just dropped a new track as well. Like their work rate's silly, and they've got the visuals to go with that as well. Just like we were saying before, like them they put on big time. And if someone like Meeks can still put stuff out with visuals or whatever as well, then he will be certified.
In my opinion, though, like I feel like Meeks' music. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like there's some big anthems from. I don't know why I'm using like Heady and Fredo as like examples, yeah. But like they've got some big anthems, yeah, that have stretched over years, yeah. But like, let's be real now. Like it's Hood, even though it's Hood Talks, when did that come out? Like what, 3 years ago? 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's still just as hard now as when it was when it first
me,
came out. You know what I mean?
You seen them mixtape madness like 1v1s that they've been doing, and you can vote for the best one, and like I can't remember who beat.
I think OFB just won it, you know.
Yeah, I think OFB beat Digga D in the final of it, but like Meeks got to the semi, and I was like smashing the Meeks.
He's repping for the North, right?
That's what I mean, man. He's big up there for us, man. But like, yeah, he's easily for me the best in money.
You know, like how you were saying, like about like certain people will be like, yeah, I want to be the king of the city or king of this, like the UK, whatever, innit? Like it reminded me of a quote that I heard, which was, it takes the same amount of time it takes to make 1 million is the same amount of time it takes to make 100 million. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's so true because like you could sign a deal for 1 million or you could sign a deal for 100, but it takes you the same amount of time to sign that signature. And like, so it's really more about your goals, your personal goals, innit? And like that the other quote is reach for the stars if you land on the clouds. Do you know what I mean? Like you're halfway there. And like I can relate to that because like I was telling you guys, like whenever I'm making music, I'm not competing with anyone in Manchester. I'm looking at whoever's at the top. I'm looking at Skepta's or I'm looking at the Drakes, and I'm like, okay, how can I make a song that's just as good as a Drake song or better? And so, like the success I've gained, even though it's just like local Manchester success or like just underground success, like it came from me aiming that high. Do you get what I'm saying?
Setting the bar up there. Right?
Exactly. And so, like, I do understand what you're saying when you're like, oh, I don't understand why I said man just want to be king of the city. Because yeah, that's cool, but if you have the potential, you could be king of the world. Do you get what I'm saying?
You could be the best in money, and you're like, right, I've set out, I've achieved what I want to achieve.
Exactly.
But then like you don't know your own potential in it. Why not think you can go so much further and do it all, man?
That's it. Just need to learn to like not confine yourself in too small of a box. Do you know what I mean? Because like there's so much people on the earth, that can listen to your music, and there's so much money to be made as well. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like, you know, as well, like people South Africa, Luxembourg, stuff like that. If you just leave it at that bar there, then you don't know what you can really achieve in it.
No, for real. Yeah, and that stuff came as a surprise to me, you know, because I wasn't even thinking outside the UK. Like, even though I always said I want to be a global artist, like I wasn't thinking I was close to being there yet. You get what I'm saying? So like, even because Manchester's been out for, I'd say, like 2 years now, so that's happened over time, and it's not just Luxembourg in that, it's like random places, bro. Like someone from Seattle was messaging me and stuff like that, innit? But it's like you never know what the possibilities are in it. So if you limit yourself to be like, yeah, I'm just looking to be the hardest in just East Manchester or the hardest in Manchester itself, then you don't know where you could have gone if you expanded to be like UK or if you global. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But now, like to be fair though, the underground scene in Manchester is healthy, man.
Yeah.
Like for example, have you been watching the rap game?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Have you watched that? K Rico.
I've not watched this season properly,
yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple on there. There's a guy called K Rico from Longsight. He's Medulla. Yeah, she came in late. I like K Rico. He flapped a few challenges though, which I think is gonna stop him from winning. But like the ones that he did put on, like he was sick. But like the consistency has just not been there. Some like young guy from London who's just smashed every single one, so he's probably gonna win in it. But yeah, that Medulla's pretty cool, man. She's like she's wavy, isn't she? She's like more like
too. Come on.
Do you know her?
Yeah. Like I was chatting to her. Like I found her like a couple months before the rap game stuff happened, innit? And it was mainly just because me and my boy Josh was talking about how there's not many female artists in Manchester, you know, and then that's when I was just like, yeah, I want to find more female artists in Manchester. But yeah, nah, she's cool too. And K Rico, I know he's definitely repping. I've known about K Rico for a long time, innit? And he's been had bars, you know. I think I've not fully watched this season properly, but I think he can spin any one of these people that they're.
No, like straight up, like as I say, like if bless him, he bottled like the first fucking 4 or 5 challenges. Like he flapped, he choked every single one.
4 or 5, bro.
Yeah.
I
Like,
only heard one in it. I only heard he flopped one.
Yeah, nah, he's flopped. You know what, K Rico, I rate it. Yeah, if you ever want to come on this pod, yeah, you can sit right here in it.
Bro.
Yeah, but they did like a challenge where it was like. Just to put you on the spot, it's like Crep Conan and DJ Target in it, and they're like, right, we're bringing it because it's in Manchester. It's being filmed in Manchester this year.
Man,
Yeah. So I swear they were like, come to like Gorilla. I swear is it like Gorilla or something, yeah. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna put on 3 beats, yeah, that you don't know. And you got to spit a 16 over each one. It's just gonna you got to learn to adapt to each of these different tempos, yeah. And Kiriko came in, yeah, and he absolutely bodied it. He bodied every single one, yeah. And I thought, bro, you are sick. Why have you not done this in every single one? Do you know what I mean? And then
I think that the pressure will get to you.
Yeah.
Because bro, I'm not gonna lie, innit? I've turned down rap game twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like,
why?
Like I turned it down the second year when Graft won. And then this one too, innit?
Yeah, Graft is cold.
Graft is cold, bro. When I was in Leeds, his name was ringing off before rap.
Yeah,
game,
Graft
innit?
bodied absolutely every single one in that season.
No, for real. But like one of the reasons why I didn't want to go onto the rap game is because coming from like the film background, innit? Like you know like how things can be portrayed and how things like when you're on the show as a contestant, you have no power. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they're gonna put out a version of you that they want. Do you get what I'm saying? They're gonna film something and you don't know how you're gonna be portrayed. You don't know how it's gonna affect you afterwards. Do you get what I'm saying? And like so, I didn't really want to be on it mainly because I didn't know how I was gonna be portrayed, and I'd rather control my narrative. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, when I first got one of the first interviews, the first time they hit me up.
Which
like,
one was
they were
this for?
For the second one.
So that's the one where Graf won, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one before that was Lady Ice.
Which is weird because I feel like me and Graf's like style is very similar.
So
like I feel like if I went on it, maybe Graf wouldn't have. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a weird thing, innit? But at the same time, Graf is cold, fam. Cold. What it was like they were asking me like, oh, have you had any hardships or any struggles that you've been through that you like no in your past and stuff like that? And then I'm deep in that. Obviously, with shows like that, they need like a sub story like of some sort, like something to get the audience like attached. Like, oh, I was homeless at some point, or I went through depression, or just different things in it. I've not watched this season, but you probably have seen it where like they're talking about their background and be like, what kind of struggle. And I thought to myself, like, I don't really want them to tell my story. Do you know what I'm saying? And for the sake of just them getting extra views and like a sympathy vote or whatever in it. And then so like that's when I was just like, I don't think this is for me, or even that I was ready to put myself out there in that way, in it. But bro, it's just I don't know, innit? It's just the whole.
It's a big decision,
Big decision.
That changes your life.
Instantly,
it changes your life forever. Like it actually does.
Like I said, I've not really seen it, innit? But like you said, going back to like the pressure of doing it as well. You're the public eye. Is it Krypton Conan, the judge?
DJ Target.
I seen one where
you're performing in front of someone mad. Like this year, there's been like Chip, there's been Gets, there's been Dizzy, there's been every
Imagine that as like a young spitter as well, and like you're going up on that and like you're trying to do your thing, and like you got Get stood in front of you there, and you're like, I need to share this because it has to be cold. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't have a better judge almost in it, because these men are top of the game. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because if it were best case scenario is amazing. Do you get what I'm saying? But for the most part, there's not a good perception on these shows. Like if someone won X Factor, a lot of the times, like 5 years later, you wouldn't see them about. Do you get what I'm saying? It's literally the rare cases where like Little Mix and One Direction managed to sustain
like Leona Lewis or something like that.
But for the most part, it's kind of like, you was on X Factor, but that's all we know you for now. We don't even rate your talent. You're just that person from X Factor, or that person from the rap game.
That's the thing with the music industry. Like when you say, like, for example, like One Direction and fucking Little Mix, they were so monetized, and because they had such a massive following so quickly. But like with Leona Lewis, it's like we popped or like even like for example Alexandra Burke, she popped off, and it's like we've made you've been monetized now, like you've made like you're not cool anymore. Do you know what I mean?
It's like going down that generic route, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like it's not the audience that you want. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like a big mega artist. So someone, I know it's a daft comparison, but like Adele. Do you know what I mean? Like she can always drop music and it'll be timeless, and like even if she's come up from a different way, like that public eye perception of like a show and stuff like that.
It's a lot stronger, isn't it?
It's just, I don't know, man.
I don't know why. I feel like sometimes you might lose your credibility. Like for example, as you say, One Direction and Little Mix, they're probably two ones where you mention you don't think X Factor. Whereas these other ones, you kind of just think X Factor. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
The genre as well, like they're both groups in it. Like the genre of music, you don't have like rappers on X Factor or something like that. You wouldn't have someone like that because they just wouldn't do it, would they? They wouldn't be. They'd probably do well, but they wouldn't fucking end up killing it and going straight into that scene.
God forbid they show a bit of diversity. Do you know what I mean? They show a bit of realism.
You got to take some. If you're a rapper, you got to take some stones to go on X Factor and try and spit like when they're all singing and that.
Yeah, that's like almost career suicide too.
Think about it though, realistically though. If you are a rapper, do you really want as successful as Simon Cowell is? Do you really want Simon Cowell controlling your rap music? No thanks.
No cap though. Even the voice hit me up. The voice wanted me to come on in it. And like, bro, like when I'm looking at it, obviously some people will look at it as like, yo, nah, you should have went on the voice or you should have went on to rap. When I'm looking at it, it's like, what is that gonna do for me? What I want for my career? Do you know what I'm saying? So if I'm just like fame hungry, anything, I'll take anything in it. But like, I want my career to have some sort of integrity. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like there's slight negative connotations that come with being on those shows that I don't want for my career, innit? So that's why like personally I wouldn't, and like a lot of people wouldn't in it. But I also feel like you can go onto those shows and do bits. Like we're looking at Graft right now. I feel like he's gonna be the first person from Rap Game to like make it work. Do you get me? But,
Lady Ice is doing okay.
Yeah. She's doing good still.
I don't watch that in it, but I know Graft. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
like,
should watch it, but you'd enjoy
and it's
it.
like it's these people that can catch the audience outside of just the show.
Exactly.
That's how you get it going, innit?
Yeah. To be fair, like, who was the first guy that won it? Was he called like Kiko?
Yeah.
I mean, he was good. I thought he was good, but for me, I feel like he wasn't the best rapper on there.
He wasn't.
Lady Ice is a better rapper than him.
Lady Ice, Foss, like
Foss was sick.
They were definitely better, but that's why it's also like it's also weird for me to think because Kiko came from like London and like local to like Krypton Conan, so he can't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like there was kind of like either a favoritism or like they just thought like, yo, this is the best for the scene to win right now.
I feel like we just launched Play Dirty. We need someone super on brand to really launch the label. But I feel like, but then again, think about in those short 3 years how much this entire thing has changed. Whereas now, if a skinny white kid from Brighton goes on there and he's sick, you can monetize him to fuck, and he's gonna blow. Do you know what I mean? Or if I don't know. Look at like Lady Leisha. Look at like all these, like all the women doing their thing as well. Like,
yo,
and they can
big up Lady Leisha,
though.
Your Lady Leisha's doing bits like man's on TikTok innit, and like bro, like you know, like when you hop on TikTok, I don't know if you guys use it, but whenever you hop on TikTok, there's an advert there innit.
Yeah.
Bro, the last 2 months in it, I've just seen Lady Leisha, L'Oreal, Lady Leisha, JD, Lady Leisha, like just. Yo, she's securing the bag, innit?
I seen it on TV. I seen an advert with her on, and I looked at it, and I was like, "That's fucking Lady Leisha, that." And I was like, "What a L'Oreal thing?" And like, I think she's mad that, innit? She's patterned it, yeah. She's fine.
She's not into guys though.
Is she not into guys?
Damn.
No, yeah, I think
she used to date what's her name? Paige Cakey. Yeah, bro. No cap, bro. I think there's still videos back when they were both still underground. Like they used to collab, but they were dating and they would like travel and do vlogs and all of this, innit?
Yeah,
it's mad. Yeah, trust me.
That is mad. That is mad. But yeah, man. Anyways, like it's been good, bro. I want to wrap it up only because we're on some new memory cards and I don't know how they're gonna hold out right now. So there's always room for a part 2, bro.
Yo,
whenever you want to come on,
thank you for having me. No, definitely. Welcome. And we'll make sure the part 2 happens, like, because when like. I've got big plans for the next year or 2 in it. Yeah. So like when we do a part 2, like we're gonna have definitely more stuff to talk about in it.
Yeah, sick. Respect, brother. Yeah. Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Bro, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man. Hope you've enjoyed it. Go check out Mab's. His Instagram was already plugged at the beginning.
Come on.
But it'll be in the bio as well.
It'll be in the bio, Instagram, all that. But yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for that, bro.
Yeah, good chat, that, bro.
I'm sweating.